everyone, welcome to day 22 of the Eat to Live challenge. So I am doing what I said I was going to do, and I am making Dr. Fuhrman's famous anti-cancer soup, which if you look at it on his website, it falls into multiple categories. It falls into the aggressive weight loss category, the anti-cancer category, the Eat to Live category. So I think it's actually just a multi-purpose soup. So it has kind of a lot of ingredients, and it's I've never cooked a soup that's quite like this before. So I'm really hopeful, based on the amount and quantity that this is going to make, that it's going to be absolutely like super beyond delicious. We'll see. There are very few Dr. Fuhrman recipes that I've made that I haven't actually enjoyed, so I'm pretty hopeful that this is going to be good. So just follow through with me with the ingredients. It's kind of a little weird how you end up doing things, so I'm going to show you the first step, and then I'm going to show you the next step. There's a third step, and then it's done. So it's not too convoluted, it's just kind of a little strange. So first things first, you need a half a cup of split peas. It doesn't say what kind of split peas, it just says dried. So I am choosing to use green split peas, and 1/2 cup. Okay, and then it calls for 1/2 cup of dried adzuki or cannellini beans. I do not have either of those dried at the moment. In fact, I don't even have black beans dried at the moment. I have a whole bunch of different grain type things, like I have millet and amaranth, and I've got a combination of all sorts of different lentils and pulses and stuff, but I don't have any other beans. So I'm going to use just straight up pinto beans. These we almost always have in the closet. And do be careful with your beans, guys. I'm sure you know this. You are supposed to check them for rocks and any ones that have funky shells in them, or in a half piece like this one, to take out. So if they're halves or whatever, take them out. So, a few more here. Okay, the rest are a success. Okay, so there goes that. Half a cup of each of those in this massive, big, huge pot. I don't know if I need this big of a pot, but I was concerned with the amount of liquid going in here that I would, so we're just using the biggest pot I have. All right, so now it calls for 4 cups of low sodium broth, and what I'm going to do is put 4 cups of water in here and use a little bit of the Better Than Bouillon no chicken base. Calls for 6 cups of carrot juice. I had bought a carrot juice to use for a different recipe. Actually, I bought it to use for this recipe, used it for a different recipe. So we're gonna put 6 cups in here. This is a 4-cup measuring cup. Oh, well geez, I hope I have 6 cups in here. Okay, not quite, I'm half a cup short. So no problem, I'll just put an extra 1/2 cup of broth in. Okay. I'm gonna do that rather than doing it on my towel, because that's gonna leave orange for sure. So the next thing that you need are 2 cups of celery juice. I don't know where you find celery juice. So I took the inner third of celery. I cut off the top part that was junk. There's the bottom part. And I put the top part, cut it in half, and put it in here with 3 cups of water. So I'm going to blend this down, and I'm gonna call this celery juice. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not sure about this. So I'll be back with you guys in just a minute as soon as I do that. Okay, it sure smells like celery juice. That's what it looks like. I have this little utensil-y thingy that I'm going to use to pour it into the container. Get 2 cups. I think I did a pretty good job straining that, but I'm going to do it one more time on here just to make sure I get as much of the strands and stuff out as possible. hitting me in the eye. I'm definitely getting some more gunk out, so. And there's some more pulp. Okay. Get the celery juice off my face. I'm sure it's good for your face. No problem. Okay. One of the other ingredients is something that he stocks on his website, and I don't really care for it. It's called veggie zest. I did buy it. They have matzo zest that I bought as well. He uses that in his ingredients. So it calls for a no sodium seasoning mix. I buy this one at Costco, and it's great. It works out really well. I'm going to put 2 tablespoons. It calls for 2 tablespoons. This stuff is pretty potent. I'm going to use 1 tablespoon. Maybe I'll use 1.5 tablespoons. And then if I need more seasoning at the end, I'll add more. But it worries me to put in 2 full tablespoons. So I'm going to do that. I didn't get out a measuring device. I need to do that. And then this is kind of a weird thing. It calls for 6 medium zucchini, which is fine. But from the instructions, there doesn't say anywhere to chop them. So I'm going to cut the top off and the bottom off and put it in there just like that. And I'm going to cook that. I'm going to get that up to a boil and then reduce the heat to simmer. So let me go chop up 6 of these and put them in my soup and put my water in there with my better than bouillon. And I will be back with you guys in just a few minutes to show you what the next kind of odd step is. Alrighty guys, so my carrot juice blended stuff is cooking on the stove with the zucchini in it right now. And it says the next step is to take 4 medium onions. And I have onions, and I had 2 that were medium size and the rest are huge. So I took 2 medium sized onions and 1 regular onion, and it just says 4 medium onions. And it doesn't say what kind. So I used 1 medium sweet onion, putting that in my blender now. 1 medium purple onion, and 1 large white onion. All that just went in my blender. So what you're supposed to do is blend your onion, blend 3 leeks, and it says 2 bunches of kale, collard greens, or other greens. I'm going to use this. You guys have seen this before. It's what I get at Trader Joe's. Really like this. It's already clean. It's ready to go. I usually have to pick through and pull off some of the stems from it because they leave some of the stems intact. So you then want to blend it. I guess I don't really care this time. But that's what 4 onions does to my blender. So you're supposed to put in some of the soup that's cooking on the stove in here to help it blend up. So I think I'm just going to do this in 3 different pieces. I'm just going to blend this and then pour it in, and then blend the kale and pour it in, and then blend the leeks and pour it in. So I want to share a quick tip with you guys. I don't know if you probably already know this. Some of you, I'm sure, are well more advanced in the cooking than I am. But one thing that I've found with leeks that works really, really, really well is to cut them in half. Like, just chop them right down the middle. So you chop the bottom off, chop the top off, and then cut them right down the middle in half. And when you go to clean them, it makes it so much easier because you could just spread them. And then you can just run the water all the way around, and you can lift them up and move them around, and then they actually get clean. Because leeks are so hard to get clean. But yeah, this works out really well to do this. So try that sometime, see what you think. It actually works. It works real well. So I did that with my 3 different leeks. I have a big old measuring cup full of leeks here that need to be blended up. So I'm gonna go be busy blending for a few minutes and get some stuff added into the soup pot, and then I'll be back to talk to you guys in just a few minutes. Alrighty guys, we're down to our final step in the soup. So we put split peas and beans and carrot juice, celery juice, bouillon water, some seasoning, and zucchini in the pot. Let it start to boil. Then while that was going, took 3 leeks, a big huge bag of kale, and the onions, and blended those and got that in the pot. Blended those with the soup water, the mixture that was in the pot already. Okay, so those are going. The zucchini has been cooking for 15 minutes now. And so I have taken tongs and pulled it out. So that's, I used 7, by the way, because I thought that some of mine were small rather than medium. So 7 of those. I'm going to take them out of there and chop them in half before I put them in my blender. And I'm going to also take and put in there 1 cup of cashews. So I'm going to blend those 2 things up, put them in the pot, and then it says at that point to put in 10 ounces of fresh mushrooms. And if you guys know me at all, you can say it with me. What mushrooms am I going to use? Enoki mushrooms, of course. So I'm going to actually chop these up. Usually I just chop them into thirds, and the bottom third you throw away because it's just the stemmy part. I'm going to probably chop them just a tiny bit smaller than that, maybe into quarters, and then put them in the soup. So the soup has been kind of a lot of work. I mean, it's not really hard. It's just been a lot of, okay, put this in the blender, take it out, put this in the blender, take it out, put this in the blender, take it out. So I guess that's better than chopping, right? So I'm going to go and process the zucchini, blend those up, and put it in the pot. One thing I have to say is the soup looks really funky. So it was frothing with the carrot juice and stuff in it that it was cooking, probably from the beans too, a little bit of releasing from the water and the beans. Anyway, so it's kind of frothy. And then I dumped in the onions that were no big deal. It just kind of mixed in nicely. And then I dumped in the kale, and it just kind of in the middle. And then when I went to dump in the leeks, it kind of just turned this greenish, colorish thing it's got going on. It's very frothy over there. It's quite interesting. So anyways, I'm gonna go do the rest of the zucchini and then chop up those mushrooms real quick and put it in there. And then you let it simmer for 2 hours. And so after that, I will take it out and show you guys what it looks like and taste it for you and let you know what it tastes like. I'm pretty excited about this, let me tell you. I think this one's gonna be a good one. Wish me luck. Alrighty guys, so it is time to give this a shot. So it's a very, very pretty color green. If you want a green soup, it's actually quite pretty. I guess I'm not sure. I kind of expected the orange from the carrot to win, but leeks and kale prevailed, and zucchini. All right, it's still pretty hot. It's good. I don't know. We'll have to see what the flavors do as they sit and mesh for a while, because it might be a totally different soup tomorrow than it is today. It is very good. It's not as good as some of the other ones that I've made from his website, but it's definitely good. Reading the comments on his website, this is like, there's way lots of comments for this soup, and people really like it. Yeah, it's good. I'll let you know in the next day or two whether I think it's something that would be worth repeating or not, to be honest with you. Right off the top of my head, I would say, this was a really good trial. I don't think I'll make it again, because I like some of his other soups better, but it's really good. But maybe if it sits for a day or so, it will turn into something that's a little bit more profound even than what it is right now. It is good though. I won't regret having made this. I definitely don't regret having made the quantity that I made. I mean, my kids will eat this. My husband will eat this. It's good. Yeah, it's good. Okay, guys. So this video is well long enough, so that's all going to be it for me for the day. I just wanted to show you this recipe because I thought it would be something that would be worth knowing about on the Eat to Live plan, because it totally fits right into there. It is very good. I have some brown rice crackers that all that it is brown rice and organic brown rice and water. That's all the only 2 ingredients. So I'm probably going to use that and dip it into my soup and have some crackers with it. There's no salt on these, so it's not like I'm adding sodium to make the flavor any better or anything. It's just an extra added crunch. Yeah, it's definitely good. If I do make this again in the future, I will probably make it in half of the batch because this makes a huge, huge pot of soup. So I might make actually half of this rather than the whole thing. But it is good. Get back to me the next day or so, though. I'll let you know whether it's so good it's worth repeating or whether it's just good. All right, guys. Talk to you again tomorrow. Have a great day.